Hey, how's it going? This is Willfox, and I just want to talk a little bit about a topic I've been meaning to share with you guys for a while. It's about MIDI. MIDI is something that is just so flexible that over the years I've just been learning more and more about how useful it is. So when I was younger, I just assumed that MIDI was just this crummy sounding file that was just not that useful, kind of useful but not really. But I didn't realize how huge it is. It's so simple. They're pretty much really small files that just contain not audio. They have no audio whatsoever. They just have information that a computer, a keyboard, or even a gaming console can use to replay music in any way that you really want it to do. It can go from really kind of low end chiptune music to really crazy professional sounding stuff too. So I just want to give a couple of examples and use cases and even show you that you probably have access to MIDI functions without really knowing, and you could probably plug in a throwaway keyboard or any type of keyboard that you might have to really transform the type of sounds that you have access to literally for free. So I want to show some of that stuff off, so enjoy. So the first I'm going to do is switch over to my digital audio workstation DAW. That's what they call. My DAW of choice tends to be Fruity Loop Studios, mainly because it's just the first one I got used to, and I'm too stubborn to learn another one. But this is a project that I created from scratch, but essentially I boiled it down to just its MIDI information exclusively, so you could just hear how it sounds and then see what you can expand it to. So I'll play it quick. So, sounds like ass, but this is Checker Knights from Kirby Air Ride. I recreated it just by ear, but even if I found this file on the internet, I'd still be able to do what I would want to do with it. So this is just information. Everything's mapped to piano and drums just because I don't really care too much about how anything sounds. I just care about what this is mapped to. So I'm going to jump ahead to what kind of the final product would sound like with custom sound. So with FL Studios and with any DAW, you could download any sound that you want. You could download realistic sounding sounds, synthesized sounds. You could download samples from your favorite video games, such as Kirby Nightmare Dreamland, Kirby Amazing Mirror, whatever you want, and replace everything, and you'll get something like this. So this is the exact same file. And that's what I want to really highlight about the power of MIDI. And I'll even dig into here and show you what kind of things you can do with this MIDI information. So I'll dig into the file and mess around, play around with it. So right here, I have a section of these horns that are playing. And I can not only solo it, but I can change what keys in, transpose it. I could even delete everything. The way that I like to work is that I have my keyboard down here. I just have this 88 key keyboard, and I use this purely as a MIDI controller. So this is just connected to my computer over there, and I can and I could also press record on my computer and just do whatever I want. My computer captured all of that instantly with just MIDI information, play it back. And then now, just as a quick example, I could do different things to all of this information, change the note length. I I can transpose it, anything I want, but that's like, something really quick you can do. And again, I've like optimized my setup so that I just have my computer up here and I can like jump in and do whatever I need to do. So you probably have a keyboard at home that maybe it's like a keyboard you got when you were a teenager or a child or something. But as long as it has a certain connection, you can literally do this. So on the back for an example, I have like this synthesizer, and I will show you the inputs on the back. So like this is a MIDI input. This takes the same cable that like a computer printer would use. It's called a USB type A. This would go directly into your computer and you just plug it in through USB. But there's also these two right here. These are like MIDI in and out stuff. These are like really good for connecting to other keyboards. So hypothetically, I can have this piano play this synthesizer or vice versa if I have this MIDI DIN cable, DIN, and I will show you some examples of messing around with that. But most keyboards have this. If you have this, you're like already good to go. I will say that the only things you would need is one, the keyboard to the USB cable, and you technically don't need this, but right here I have my audio interface. This is like a Scarlett. Any of the Scarletts would work. There's other audio interfaces that would work. But literally what this does is, without this, there might be latency. So I might press a note and then like my computer might take a second to play stuff. But right now, I have no latency. That's all thanks to this. So that's something else I learned. So if you have an audio interface, this does all the audio processing. It does other things such as record external audio and stuff. But at the end of the day, we care about the audio processing aspect of it. So you can get something that's like $100 maybe. There's probably some that exist that are less, but this one was more expensive because it has like multiple inputs and like other like, things like that. So if you have like a DAW or anything like that, you can swap out anything and make music with all different types of sounds. You probably already have that. So that's something I wanted to mention to you guys. I can make a video talking about how to connect that and how to configure that. But if you just go to YouTube and type in how to configure MIDI with insert your DAW here, so with FL Studios, you'll see tutorials on how to do that all over the place. Okay, so the other use case for MIDI I wanted to talk about is for connecting synthesizers together. So to get one synthesizer to control another synthesizer. So I have something set up over here. So I want to talk about connecting multiple instruments together. So move that out the way. I'm only going to care about this. And right now I am wearing a guitar. So this is the Alesis Vortex 2, and this guitar makes no sounds. It makes no sounds whatsoever. It is strictly a MIDI controller. That's a good thing because I can control anything in my room with this guitar alone. I'm only going to show it controlling this box right here. So this box is actually kind of like what we call like a groove box. Real quick about how this thing works is that it has 4 tracks, as you can see, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're all like mapped to different things. So like right here, we have like a drum track, and I can play that on this keyboard. So it's the same thing that's happening, and I have something pre-recorded. So this is already in the unit, and on here, well, I'll just show you like what I can do. So I have various control over what it's really doing without touching the thing itself. And you might have noticed that that synthesizer doesn't have a keyboard connected to it, but this is what this is for. So I can play on another layer. And specifically with this guitar, it has like different ways to manipulate it. Pitch bend. I can jump to different parts of the song right here. So there's some drum pads right here. New section of a song. Continue soloing. I can also switch the sound that I'm using by touching another pad. Let me mute some stuff. That's what I found out that MIDI can really do. So this is just one example. Look like this. So hypothetically in a performance. And I didn't have to touch that box whatsoever. So you get really elaborate with that type of thing. A lot of times a synthesizer might have like a cool control to it, but bad sounds, or vice versa. And with MIDI, you just completely sidestep that problem. So yeah, that's just a quick overview of things you can do with MIDI. You could also have multiple synthesizers all like chained together and have different information passed on to different synthesizers by selecting different MIDI channels. But that it's kind of advanced. I didn't want to show off all of that. I just wanted to at least show you that with your computer and with some software and with some equipment, a keyboard, and the correct MIDI cable, you can record stuff directly into your computer and still, or even open up other MIDI files and manipulate that and reverse engineer stuff. Like, the sky is the limit when it comes to it. And I also wanted to announce that I am releasing an album by hopefully the end of this year. It's almost done, but look out for that. But if you have any questions about anything, feel free to ask me in the comments and my Discord and whatnot. But yeah, I just wanted to get some gears turning. I'll see y'all later.